This is the Energy Shift Show podcast, where we talk about spirituality and how to live your best life today. All it takes is a shift in perception. Hello, beautiful souls. Deb here, and I'm so excited you're joining me for today's show. As CEO of the Harmonic Sovereignty Studio, my goal with the podcast is to motivate you by sharing insights and also take you along as I speak to knowledgeable people that I have found inspiring to me throughout my years as an energy medicine practitioner and intuitive guide. I cover topics that I'm passionate about, all things under my 3 pillars of attune, anchor, and amplify. Attune into your energy and your inner wisdom to gain clarity on what truly matters for your passion in life and your well-being. Anchoring grounds your insights with practical tools and daily rituals that support sustainable, soul-aligned growth. And amplifying, well, that elevates your impact and vitality by expanding your energy, sharing your gift, and creating lasting change from a place of alignment. Now listen up for this exciting episode to begin. I will read the disclaimer. This podcast and the topics discussed stem from my own curiosity and desire to learn and should never be taken as direct medical advice. I am not a doctor, dietitian, nor any other medical professional. Please always consult your trusted provider regarding your health and your wellness. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast of the Energy Shift Show. I'm your host, Debbie Sodergren, and today I'm fresh from a longevity retreat that felt like equal parts science lab and soul reset. We explored the blue zones, those regions of the world where people regularly live into their 90s and 100s with vitality. We also talked about telomeres, the protective caps on our chromosomes that are closely tied to aging and cellular health. And as we wove in something that I love, the wisdom of the body, especially through the lens of Lainey Savante Walhoun, her work with intuitive food therapy. So, if you've been asking, how do I build a life that supports long-term energy, not just short-term hustle, then this episode is for you. I'm going to also say a quick disclaimer, even though it was in the beginning of the podcast, I want to say it again here in my notes. You all know that I use notes. I don't have a teleprompter, so my eyes aren't always just looking at the camera, but I'm making sure that I stay on track and honor your time for tuning in and make sure that I give you all the information that I've worked on to get this to you. So this podcast is for education and inspiration. It's not medical advice. So take what resonates with you and always work with your trusted healthcare team for your own personal guidance. I highly recommend it. I've been doing more of that this year and doing a lot of my own biohacking for where I am in my life, and I'm welcoming you to possibly explore where it is that you are in your life. So here's our map for today. What the blue zones teach us about centenarian health, the science of our telomeres and why it matters. I'm going to touch on Dr. Norm Shealy's contributions to the telomere conversation. He's been in my orbit for the past 3 decades, whether I've seen him in person speaking at Yale or he's been instrumental in being an expert on my telesummit that I used to host. We're going to also talk about the intuitive food therapy as the bridge between the science and our own inner knowing, our intuition, and a simple longevity week practice that I'm going to invite you to try. So let's begin with the blue zones. These are places studied for unusually high concentrations of centenarians, people living to 100 and beyond. So what stood out at the retreat wasn't one magic supplement or one perfect diet. It was patterns. So the blue zone patterns, they're simple, they're not flashy. Getting natural movement, not punishing workouts, but walking, gardening, stairs, doing daily motions. Sometimes it's doing a 30-minute walk. Having purpose, a reason to get up in the morning. Some cultures call it ikigai, I-K-I-G-A-I. It's a Japanese word, ikigai. The downshift, consistent stress reduction in their everyday. They take time out for prayer in their day. They take naps. They do meditations. They have community time. And they take care of doing rituals. Most of the rituals are around food, whether it's celebrating someone or something. Having that connection. Strong social ties and feeling the need of belonging was a key part of the information. And using food as a foundation. Mostly plant forward, whole foods with moderation. Environmental supports the habits also. The healthy choice is the easiest choice. So here's the part that I wanted to underline. Longevity looks less like intensity and more like consistency. In my world, we'd call that energetic sustainability. Your system can only thrive long-term when it's not constantly in an emergency mode. Where are you trying to biohack your way out of a lifestyle that is currently draining you? That's the question that I started with asking myself at the beginning of the year. And what I ended up coming to find out about myself was doing a cleanse, doing a reset, cleansing for parasites, and getting some support with a naturopath kinesiology doctor. So telomeres, what are they and why do they matter? Let's talk about this because this is where the retreat got beautifully nerdy. Telomeres, in plain language, are like the protective tips at the end of your shoelaces, except they're on the ends of your chromosomes. Each time cells divide, telomeres can shorten. Over time, shorter telomeres are associated with aging and increased risk in certain diseases. So, telomeres are often discussed as one marker of cellular aging. Research commonly points out that these are the influences that can influence your telomere health. Chronic stress and inflammation, sleep quality, nutrition quality. How much whole foods are you taking in your diet? How much fiber? How many micronutrients? Getting movement, social connection instead of isolation. Mind-body practices, meditation, breath work, prayer. Notice how the list sounds a lot like the blue zones. This is the part that made me pause. Longevity isn't just about what you're eating. It's about what your nervous system believes is safe. When your body is constantly bracing, overworking, overcaffeinated, overperforming, your biology hears one message: survive, survive, survive. So, when you downshift and you disconnect from the world's chaos, you take time to slow down and nourish your body, your mind, your soul. Your biology gets a different message: repair. So Dr. Norm Shealy and the telomere conversation. At the retreat, we also touched on the work of I brought up Dr. Norm Shealy. They brought up telomeres in a different way, and this is going to be through the lens of what I know with Dr. Norm Shealy, layered into what they talked about telomeres at the retreat. Dr. Norm Shealy is a pioneer in integrative approaches to wellness. He's a neurosurgeon. One of the big takeaways that I want to share with you is, without turning this into a medical lecture, is this: longevity is not a single lever. It's a whole system approach. Your nervous system regulation, inflammation reduction, emotional well-being, and the daily habits that are realistic enough for you to repeat. Whether you've drawn to the research side or the energetic side, the intuitive side, or a combination of both like me, the invitation is the same. Stop treating your body like a machine that you push. Start treating it in a relationship where you listen to it. How many times have we had that little nudge, that gut feeling, and we've ignored it? How many times have we had a little pang here or there, we pop a pill to ease it, mask it, and we move forward? These things I'm finding moving forward are not sustainable. So that's why the longevity retreat came in. It just was a nice layer of putting me back into the mindset of what I already know and I've studied for 3 decades, and putting me in with other people that share that same mentality. Intuitive food therapy with Lainey Savant Wuhan through her lens. Let's bring Lainey into the conversation with her work through the intuitive food therapy, because this is where science becomes personal. Here's what I love about this approach. It's not just what food should I eat? What is my body asking for and why? It goes deeper than that. Because you can eat the quote unquote perfect blue zone plate and still be dysregulated. If you're eating from fear, control, shame, or urgency, your body is not receiving nourishment in the same way. If you're mindlessly eating and not tuning in to chewing your food slowly, having gratitude for your food, these are the things that can enrich your life, your energetic frequency, supporting the nourishment that you're putting into your body to turn into fuel, to service all your different systems of this amazing, amazing piece of science. Intuitive food therapy invites you to look at it through that different frequency. Be curious instead of having judgment. Be present instead of just doing it because you need to eat something. And look at it as nourishment instead of restriction. So instead of saying, I can't have those fried foods, maybe those fried foods upset your stomach, maybe take it to the lens of, oh, my body's requiring something else that won't upset it. Because when I put fried food in my gut has a reaction. It's talking to me. It's not the best thing for it right now. I'm not saying never, I'm saying where you are. Here's a simple practice that you can do today. Before your next meal, pause for 10 seconds and ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1, what do I actually need right now? Energy, grounding, comfort, or clarity? Number 2, what would feel supportive in my body in the next 2 hours? And number 3, what's one small shift that I can make without making this into a whole big project? Longevity is built in tiny moments like this, when you choose partnership with your body. Let's land this. From the retreat, here's the simplest truth. The path to living longer is often the path to living truer. Your 7-day longevity week challenge would be to pick 3 of these things. Either walk 20 minutes a day, natural movement, or add 1 plant-forward meal in your day. Keep it simple. Create a 10-minute shift-down ritual. Take time in your day, set a timer to either breathe, pray, journal, sit outside in nature and just listen and take in your environment. Or connect with one person daily, and text does count for this. Somebody that you haven't talked to in a while, that you've been meaning to, they've been on your mind. Reach out to that person. Practice the 10-second intuitive food pause before your next meal. And when you do that, bless your food. Thank all the different hands that got your food to where it is on your table. Just be mindful. If you want support making this your way of life, not another thing on your to-do list, come join me inside the Vibrational Mastery Codex, where we're building sustainable energy practices that actually stick because there's accountability, there's community, and there's support. If this episode spoke to you, share it with a friend who's ready to stop burning out and start building a life that supports them for the long haul. So until next time, honor your energy, trust your body, and keep shifting. Bye for now. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed this episode and it aligned with your frequency and the goal of living your best life, you can connect with me at harmonicsovereignty.com or debbiesodegren.com. Check out my YouTube channel, Debbie Sodegren. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Harmonic Sovereignty Studio. I invite you to send me your questions or comments or just say hello on social media or email me at debbiesodegren@gmail.com. And remember, a shift in perception is sometimes all it takes for you